Christine wanted me to tell you hi. That's what she said. Gotta pick better friends.
You good? Okay, we're good.
Congratulations, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For item number 2 on today's agenda, we have the minutes and claims from the Vigo County Auditor.
Okay, we've got the June 1st minutes for approval.
Just to let you know, that was a record meeting. It lasted
30
about 2
seconds.
minutes and 2 seconds. So motion to approve.
I can't vote on it.
I know.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right.
And then we got claims from May 29th to June 1st in the amount of $2,266,414.73.
I was gonna do the water bill, but I'll leave. I'm good. Yeah, it looks nice.
Motion to approve claims.
Second.
All those by, seconded, all those, aye?
Aye.
Item number 3 is a contract for legal services with our law firm and the Vigo County Commissioners, essentially stating what our hourly rate is and what we'll be doing for you guys, and that I will be the primary attorney handling things. If I say so myself, it's the most reasonable contract I've seen come before this.
No bias, no bias.
No bias at all.
And, you know, I was gonna say, who do we have review this, so?
Whoever you would like.
Oh, Tammy reviewed it, and are you okay with it? Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with Moss Law Firm.
Second. Seconded, all those by, aye?
Aye.
Item number 4, we have a bridge rehabilitation plan by Larry Robbins, Vigo County Engineer.
Morning. Tammy has before you, I believe, a copy of the title sheet for, or I guess Joel has it there, title sheet for Bridge 322 plans. These are the plans and specs for the project. All it requires is your signature. Just thought I'd bring it before you here in an open meeting, so get your formal approval on the project to move forward. It will let later this fall, but these are all things we need to get done before NDOT contracts requires these before letting.
Where's that bridge, Larry?
It's on 13th Street, just south of Fort Harrison. It's over Lost Creek.
Are they gonna tear the whole thing out before they do?
Superstructure replacement. So we're gonna leave the piers and the foundation, replace everything else.
How long will the road be closed, do you think?
I'm not sure. Probably at least 180 days.
Are they gonna, if they're gonna dig any of that sediment out, the base of it?
There is some removal of some of that sediment there on the piers there. It's
Some
limited.
sediment there.
It's limited in some of the areas, but
This is a bridge in the city, correct?
Correct.
But for people that don't know, which I had to learn as becoming commissioner, every bridge in the county of Vigo falls under Vigo County Engineering Office.
With the
Correct.
exception of the bridges over the river.
state routes.
And
Interstate,
I-70.
yeah.
Yep.
And, was that it?
Any state route.
Yeah, that bored me too.
You navigate that, or do you go up that far?
Oh, no, in this section of, no. But it was, when I was a kid, I played there,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably what's wrong with you.
Well, I was gonna make a joke about heavy metals and chemicals, but thank you for setting that one up.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. All
You
right.
can kayak it after heavy blood.
I thought, okay.
So you want us just to say yay?
Yep, just need your blessing to proceed and your signatures on the title sheet, and then there's also additional sheet that I will scan and send to them so they can cut and paste it into their full set of plans.
Make a motion to move it forward.
Second.
All those by aye? Aye.
Hey,
Okay.
can you update us on the bridge project? You have an engineering firm doing a survey analysis on bridges?
Community inspections.
There you go.
The bridge inspections will not start until July.
Okay.
So that's part of our 2-year cycle. Every bridge has to be inspected every 2 years per federal guidelines. So that will not begin until probably mid to late July.
Okay.
And then probably continue through August.
Thank you.
Item number 5 on the agenda today, we have an interlocal agreement between NDOT and the Vigo County engineer concerning a portion of US 40 to be transferred to Vigo County. I reviewed this, and I don't see anything legally objection to it, so if you'd like to elaborate more.
Sure. So what this is the county originally entered into an agreement with NDOT
It's gotta be in blue.
that after 641 was completed, that Vigo County would take over US 40 from Ileana Drive to Bennett Lane in western Vigo County. Due to the extent and how long that had taken to get completed, commissioners at the time asked me to reach out to NDOT to ask if there was anything they could do maintenance-wise, because it's been such a long period of time over which that road has been in kind of limbo. So when we did that, we came to terms with NDOT over a chip seal project and some fixes to some drainage structures along the corridor itself, and we come to an amount of $250,000 for the county to take that portion of US 40 over, so it'll be a kind of a addendum to that original contract that we would then get that money instead of them just giving it to us and us having to deal with those issues.
I'm struggling. I mean, I know where it's gonna go, but
In all fairness, Larry did some stern negotiation because I did ask him to kind of counterback a couple times.
oh yeah,
So
I'm not struggling with that. I'm just struggling. I mean, when do we start doing this? 10 years ago?
This has been going on for several years now. So
And
since-
this was part of the deal with 641 bypass.
Correct. So the original contract stated that at the time for NDOT to construct 641, they wanted the local entities to take over US 40 in Vigo County. So that would be the city taking over the portion through City of Terre Haute, Town of West Terre Haute taking over their portion, and then Vigo County taking over the remainder in the county, which in this case is only going to be that section from Ileana to Bennett Lane. There are 4 bridges on that section. They had been redone several years ago. There was a resurfacing project that was also several years old, so those are all in need of maintenance items at this point. So that was in our negotiations with NDOT. Currently, that was our kind of sticking point, that these things need to be taken care of, and they were willing to plug that into they have I guess a formula that they use on when they relinquish these state routes within local jurisdictions, that kind of tells them what they can and can't do as far as on a state level with money. So this would have been programmed, if it would have stayed in their system, it would have been programmed for a chip seal overlay here in the coming years. And then there is some drainage work that's done on some of those structures that they would have had to contract out that we could do with our local forces. So it was kind of a give and take on what we could do there, and we come to terms with this $250,000. NDOT has come to the table with the commissioners, and that is what we've kind of settled on.
We've talked about most of this on the sidelines anyway to get us to this point, but I should have asked you this outside the meeting, but you're here. the hawk signals that we talked about, did you and Shane get a chance to talk?
We spoke about those. They would prefer that we handle, locally, with, once it's our road.
I had a chance to use those a lot last week, riding bike trails. Are they expensive?
They're fairly expensive to install, yes.
For those that don't, the hawk signals are these ones that you hit where there's a pedestrian walkway and it stops traffic. It starts flashing the lights to let traffic know that people are wanting to go across.
Yep.
And one of the things that we looked at is as we look to build trails or more trails throughout the county, if we take this section of road in, will the state work with us on putting those lights up at a certain spot where we've identified a trail to go in the future? So that's kind of what we're talking about. But if we, with that money, can that money just be set aside, Bramble, for this section of road? Or is it just going to, what are we doing with that money?
Probably go
General fund?
to the highway, but if you want to reserve it for a particular purpose, you pass an ordinance to establish a fund that will receive this 250 and tell what you want to use it for in the ordinance.
Yeah, I'm not as concerned because I think now we're doing a good job with managing our money. I mean, just to show the equipment purchases that we've had in the last few years and how we're being smarter with our dollars, I'm not as concerned. But, one of the things that we talked about is if we get a heavy snow, are we going to be able to hit this additional section? Because we've got 4 lanes, we've got the cut-throughs, we've got a huge median to cut now, and we can't do our one-pass cutting method on the shoulders. We're going to have to do the banks along there.
Yeah, there's definitely some maintenance issues that come along with this section. It's a wide right-of-way through there. There are some dead ash trees as well through there that are continuing to fall. There's actually one out there now. It's on the shoulder of the road now that he's taking care of. There are some things that we will have to change. We will get, additional MVH funds for the additional mileage. Now, it won't be significant. It'll be minuscule, but it is something we do get, but it is a bigger responsibility. But when you come down to it, the fact of it is we already have a contract basically to take this over for nothing. So
Right.
the fact that we were able to get $250,000 out of it to help offset some of those costs initially,
Take it.
I think helps drastically. So, I plan on probably, contracting out a chip seal project for this in the coming, year or maybe 2. Make sure we keep the surface in good condition. I'll add the bridges to my inventory as well. They're already incorporated into that new contract. I believe the state already inspected them this year, so we got 2 years before we have to inspect them again, so.
And are we inheriting new bridges too then?
4.
4 new bridges?
Yep.
But they're pretty recent. I mean,
Yeah,
They're
they're,
bridges.
we shouldn't have to do anything
Yeah,
for several
2
years.
2 over Sugar Creek and 2 over Clear Creek.
And this still remains the emergency route when I-70 gets shut down, as it
Correct.
does 5 times a week.
Yep.
You're out there. Yeah.
Knock on wood, we haven't had that happen since the,
I just jinxed us.
connector project, so.
Well, okay, and kind of on that same thought, since the walkway's pretty much wrapped up, can you contact Shane today and see about getting that lane opened up, if it hasn't been opened up already?
No,
Yeah.
No, why not?
they're not gonna take away the restriction until the lights are installed because they may have to use a bucket truck.
They can't just put the stuff back up again? I mean, they're not gonna
Oh,
install the
no.
lights until mid or late July, right?
I know, but they don't want to. They don't want to end the lane restriction until the lights are installed.
Okay.
Well, we got an email on that.
That's nuts.
I agree. But, one thing.
Sure.
Can we negotiate real quick? West Vigo High School wants a sign somewhere out there. Can we make that happen since we're taking it over?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I've got a request too. I want to reinstate the soapbox derby races down the hill, and since it's now our road, can we do that? Anybody get that joke? Anybody?
No.
Oh, the older people in the back are laughing, yes, yes. Okay, good. You remember Bramble, right?
No, it's before my time.
The soapbox derby, I thought you were a champion once. For a
Well, it was
derby
right-
hill.
Right in front of my mom's parents' house.
Was it really? Huh. Well, I'll make a motion to accept,
The interlocal.
what do we call this road? Well, what are we gonna call the road?
Be national.
It is gonna be national? Okay, let's have a talk real quick. What do we call the bridge now? The
What
bridge that
bridge?
goes across the river, what road is that?
That's 150,
It is. Okay. And then the grade,
150.
that's 150 also,
US 150 until you get to.
the stoplight.
Yep, the stoplight by First Financial Bank.
Okay. And is that gonna remain US 150, or are we taking that too?
Nope, that's gonna remain US 150.
Okay. And then from the stoplight to 70 is national.
From the stoplight, it'll,
It's a valid question. Okay. Because I can never figure it out. I just say the bridge, the grade, and through West Terre Haute.
all the addresses say national.
Okay.
So when we entered into discussions with NDOT on 150, then we are talking about that corridor.
Correct. There has been discussions, NDOT is on a relinquishment path. They would like to relinquish a lot of these older state roads. Don't get as much traffic as they used to. 150 is up for on that discussion. State Road 63 has been up before for the county. The city took it over within the city limits. That was been brought up again. So if we enter those discussions on relinquishing US 150 and possibly making it an alternate route somewhere else in the county, then it would include the grade, it would include the river bridges, which we do not want any part of. So in that discussion, I would recommend that those bridges stay with the state. Just because, I mean, even.
Great, needs some work on it.
Yeah, and we've had some sideline talks about
Yeah,
that.
we've had, NDOT's brought that up, they've acknowledged some of the issues with the grade itself, so we've brought those concerns up with them, so. It's definitely something that's more of a discussion point than what 40 was, since 40 was already, I mean, that original contract was in 1991.
91,
Yeah, this is dated November 19th of 1991.
30 years. You were 3 years old?
I was 3 years old.
You were 3 years old.
Yeah.
You were in on that negotiation?
It's been
Maybe.
so nice watching that road grow up.
It is, yeah. Thank you.
So, think that the commissioners continue to be to monitor things when the state, and not necessarily grab for the low-hanging fruit of $250,000 to absorb $1 million worth of highway, or
Yeah,
$2 million or $3
150
million.
would definitely be a different discussion as far as monetary value. It didn't have another agreement that it's tied to, the big sell with the local jurisdictions taking over 40 was, we got 641. Now, my issue with that is I believe in that negotiation, that was supposed to be I-69, so. When it wasn't
I
I-69.
believe I remember some of those discussions that wavered back and forth.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm the Southwest Outreach Representative, so I will be your rep down here. I'm very honored to be here today to speak to you all. I just kind of wanted to give a brief overview of what the Office of the Attorney General does for anybody that's not familiar with it. Kind of like I was, I didn't realize how much we actually do. With Attorney General Todd Rokita being the Chief Legal Officer of the state of Indiana, we offer the advisory division, which guides officials in understanding a week to their rightful owners. We believe in serving the state with a servant's heart. We also believe in liberty and things from the office, pens and some other things. So feel free to approach me, talk to me. If I don't know the answer, I will find out the answer for you. So again, thank you so much.
So Kimberly.
Yes,
Kimberly,
yes.
so are you new? Is this a
Per se, it is a new service. Administration did have an outreach.
consumer fraud? Would that person want to contact you?
They can contact me, or they can actually contact the office. There is a
Consumer-
form on there
okay.
through Consumer Protection. It's very easy to navigate through, and I can show you how to do that. Or you can contact me, and I can put you in touch with who you need to speak with.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
you're very welcome. And I did bring some 100-day booklets so that you can see what Todd Attorney General Rokita has been doing in the first 100 days. So I did bring those for you as well. So thank you so much for allowing
you.
me to be here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so as many of you know, the Drake family had their first concert on Saturday night. Previous commissioners Anderson and Kearns had made a deal with Tim and his family, leasing the old IP property for a concert venue. Happy to report that close to 6,000 to nearly 7,000 people attended that concert. Over 1,000 from out of county, some staying in hotels, some staying with friends. I cannot tell you, I didn't go to sleep till 2 o'clock in the morning last night because I'm just so excited about that place. I think it's going to bring development on 63 down there. I think it's going to bring people to visit this community from out of county that are going to see the great things we have to offer. And if you have a chance to go to a concert, you know, the 17th is the next one. Tickets are only $25. It's a great time. See all your friends, hang out, do nothing I wouldn't do, but it's a good time. So Tim has done a great thing for this community, along with working with the commissioners for that property. So just want to let you guys know.
Yep. I think that's kind of makes this interesting looking at, because the food and beverage tax coming off that place right now. So it's I think it's a win all the way around. Maybe we made a good investment when we, at least, what was the place down there? Hyperdyne or Powerdyne or
Oh,
whatever?
the sludge diesel fiasco?
Yeah, probably a little better investment than 35 rail cars of trash going in there every day. So it's a good deal. And it is a beautiful setting. Across the country, there's no setting anymore beautiful than that down there, and they continue to improve it with the incorporation of our river.
It was the site of the world's largest distillery at one time, 1906, I think. And now it's our first outdoor concert venue. Well, I mean, Fairbanks Park, too, but
Well, I mean, just between the Nelly that was there and Low Cash, those videos have been viewed by almost 500,000 people. That's 500,000 views by people outside of this community that now know about a concert venue in our community. So, I mean, it's things like that, the private-public partnership, I mean, that will do incredible things for this community. Brendan, you have to have something today.
well, I was just going to share that my Asian carp video of the Wabash River had over 16 million views, so they got a ways to go.
Whatever.
Thanks again for teeing that one up. All right.
I got something I want you to take a look at anyway. Proposal for comprehensive capital improvement financial plan.
Yes. This is the one you've been talking about for a while, Jim?
Thank you.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
This isn't, I mean, you guys, when you're on the council, you talked about this too, right?
Mm-hmm. This is more,
Plan, but it's good financial management. But we are now being required to come up with a plan for use of that federal money that we're getting. And that can be incorporated into this and take care of those requirements also. I've got an example of what the final product looks like. I can get you copies of that to look at too. But anyway,
So this is a not to exceed 60,000, but
Right.
there's an Article 3, so what do you think realistically would be out?
60,000.
60,000 max, so this part right here,
That's what they're charging for services up to that.
up to not to exceed 60,000, is Article 3.
This
I
is
can
what
see
different
more.
different skill levels, I guess, in their company are billed at.
So you think that investment is a good one for us, it's gonna help us
gonna
Feel
take,
like we're an attorney judge thing up here, I feel like.
Actually, probably having this plan in place will help us with the READY grant that we're getting ready to go after, the ARP earmarks, and any other federal money that we get,
and then,
showing a consistent plan.
one thing that came up when we were issuing bonds for the jail and the convention center,
Right.
the rating companies both asked about it. You guys, when we had our interviews, do you have a comprehensive plan? And, well, we kind of do. We kind of, kind of had to hem-haw around it. But that, if and when we refinance those bonds or issue another bond, it'll help with that, maybe help our rating.
When do you want to start this project, though? I mean, is this a timing thing? You mentioned that we don't have to do it today, but well, what's ideal for you?
I guess get on it as soon as we can,
You guys want to meet with Jason first?
I don't know.
We should probably meet with Jason.
You want me to get a hold of him and get him down to this meeting or at a different time?
I don't know if he necessarily has to be here.
Well, next Wednesday is our CIP meeting, he normally comes to that.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, like right after.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Great thinking, team.
So Brendan, this was 60,000?
Yeah, it says not to exceed 60,000, but
Yeah,
that Article 3 component is what? That.
Okay.
And we budgeted for it.
You did, yeah, last year.
Yeah, I thought you did. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we can, excuse me, so we can go with the Wednesday. Is that all right with it? Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
Any other comments from commissioners or other officials? Move on then to item number 7, which is comments from the public. I personally have not received any comments from the public, I don't know.
Public? Okay. All right.
We appreciate the growing attendance of 2 public that continue to come weekly.
I don't. Toby's not in the room, is he?
He's back there.
Back there.
Oh, okay. We had nothing on YouTube.
All right.
Recess
I would say we stand in recess.
until Tuesday?
Okay.
It would be a mess if it goes for all those reasons. I appreciate it.